Good evening. We made it back to Pack Homer Pod, Season 3, Episode 11, I believe. We took a brief hiatus after the Virginia Tech series. We needed a mental health break, but we made it back this week, and we were going to record this week even if we got swept. It might have been the last one of the year, but we was going to record. We weren't going to just leave y'all stranded, but we're back. 3-1 week for the Pack, beat up on the Pirates, and then got 2 out of 3 over Miami. I mean, just in a phenomenal series this weekend. And before we talk about the Miami series, I just want to talk about the East Carolina game real quick. I know they lost 2 out of 3 to Memphis this weekend. I mean, it was a good game for us RPI-wise, but we've played them jokers, I guess, 17 innings now because we 10-run ruled another night. I just don't understand the RPI sometime.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. My frustration, I mean, it comes back to our, whoever's scheduling, which I assume is Cliff Godwin at ECU, because he seems to do everything over there. They're RPI darlings every year. And if you look at their series this year, they've got Xavier lost, Carolina tie. They won, split, and then they just quit. They called it a tie for the game 3. Penn win, UAB win. This is series. UTSA loss, Charlotte win, Tulane loss, Wichita win, South Florida win, Memphis loss. And it's just, they're still projected into the tournament. And I'm just perplexed as to how their loss against, series loss against Coastal and the Carolina tie in February, has them as a shoe-in for the tournament. But again, props to them for their scheduling, strategically, for whatever reason in the conference that they're in, that they can have, 2 competitive series, Coastal and Carolina, and be a shoe-in if they just, if with the losses to UTSA, Memphis, and Tulane. So that's just great strategy on their scheduling there. They're young too, but I mean, again, just from an RPI standpoint, I mean, hell, they might. And today changed a lot, I think, when they lost the series to Memphis. But in the latest projections, they're still showing that they're in. So
Yeah, today might have put them on the
interesting.
bubble.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Well, I mean, they got the juggernaut, to close the season with Rice and Florida Atlantic. So we'll see if that'll probably get them back into the top 30.
Anyway, against the Pirates, we're going to talk about him a lot, I guess, on this podcast. We asked for some questions today, and he popped up in a few of those too. But I guess the ECU game was kind of the beginning of the Christian Serrano coming out party this week. He started at shortstop. Of course, Mikey Ryan's injured. Went 2 for 3 with a double in that game. Julian Pizell started the game. We threw Truett Manuel, Mikey Ragusa, and Aiden Kitchens. And Aiden Kitchens was electric against ECU and then couldn't throw a strike the other night against Miami. That's how it goes with freshmen sometimes. But anyway, 12-2 win. And then we roll into game 1 versus Miami. Did you guys get to watch that game? I think Adam was pretty busy. I think Wes,
I did not.
You watched some of it, didn't you? It was a back and forth game. So Miami went up 6-0 early. We score 8 runs in the 4th and go up 8-6, and then Miami scores 5 in the 7th. I mean, we end up losing the ball game 12-9. Long story short, but Garino kind of made one bad pitch. I don't know how many times we do this season, but we gave up a grand slam to a guy for his first home run of the year. But the guy has hit home runs before. He had a pretty good year last year. But anyway, gave up a grand slam in the 7th. Miami beats us 12-9. Sosa hit a home run in that game, which was not – he was probably getting booed pretty heavily. Late in the game, we're down a run or 2 runs, and McHugh leads off with a double. And they call for a challenge because when he slid in, his foot hit the bag, then he grabbed it with his hand.
I did.
Anyway, their second baseman got chippy. I kind of felt like that turned the whole series. Like when he got chippy with McHugh, and then Garino came out the next inning and threw it behind him, and almost led to benches clearing. Both sides got warnings. Miami, they were mouthing off. I think McHugh would have killed that guy.
Yeah, man, McHugh's the last one I would get chippy with in our life. Yeah. Maybe Rhett.
McHugh had him by like 60 pounds and a couple inches, and Anyway, I kind of felt like that sparked us into going into game two. Played a doubleheader on Friday. I mean, you talk about back against the wall. I mean, we have backs against the wall when you when you need to win 2 out of 3 and you lose the first one. And then in game two, they start their ace. Go ahead, Adam.
Before you go on from that, I got one question. I don't understand how this works. On that McHugh slide,
Yep.
so Miami was out of challenges.
Yep.
They called him safe, and then the umpires initiated a challenge. How does that work? I don't remember how that works because I was just watching it. I wasn't able to listen. What's the process there? Is it like after a certain number of innings or something, kind of like in basketball, where
So I think my understanding is at the 8th inning and later, the umpires can initiate a challenge.
so is it like the chief that does it, or is it the umpire that was on that call?
I'm not sure, but what made it so bad was like, I mean, McHugh's safe by like 10 feet, and Ogden immediately is doing this, but they don't have any challenges, of course. And then the umpires came together and reviewed it. They got the call right. I mean, I
They
hate it
did. I agree
because
with that. I agree with that.
I don't think that's what review is for, is to see if a guy who's safe by 10 foot hand brushes over the top of the bag. But I guess, when you're working on sliding in practice, that's got to be a focal point now. But yeah, I think it's initiated 8th inning and later, Adam, by the
Okay.
umpires.
I wasn't able to hear it. I wasn't able to listen. I was just curious how that worked. So
And I think some of the
I just knew that we were
frustration
out of. I just knew that they were out at that time.
with Ogden was they succumbed to Ogden's pleas because he was safe by so far. I don't think they would have ever initiated the review without him just, going crazy over the play. So anyway, go into game two, and Miami, all of Miami's starters, by the way, had pretty good numbers coming in. I think they were all sub 4 ERAs, and they start their ace, Rob Evans. Evans, who I don't know why we can't get the injury look. I mean, he looked like he was dead the week before when he sprained his ankle. He was down. They had to tote him off the field, and then he was. But Evans was kind of get chippy, and Miami comes out, scoreless first. We got Consiglio. He matches. Coop's scoreless through 2. And then Serrano comes up in the second inning and hits a nuke. The place kind of went nuts. Evans, when he left the mound, he only made it through 3 1/3. I think he came in with one of the lowest ERAs in conference play of any starting pitcher. Anyway, when he left the game, he was letting our fans have it. They were letting him have it. And I think every Pack fan, if we keep Christian Serrano at 3 years, will remember that as kind of his coming out party, that home run. And then, we get up big. We're up 11-0 at one point. They start subbing. We start bringing in relievers. They can't throw strikes, and it becomes an 11-7 game. And anyway, we tack on a couple. Our 11-6 game, we tack on a couple and win 13-6. But the two big stories I felt like from that game were, one, Serrano going, I guess it was 2 for 4 with the 3-run home run, and then Cooper Consiglio was phenomenal. Coop went 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. He gave up 2 earned runs, but those earned runs were the result of, they were inherited.
2 walks.
Yeah, they were inherited runners by Kitchens, and Kitchens come in and, as I mentioned earlier, had a hard time throwing strikes. But Coop was phenomenal. Just I think we all three saw that game. Want to get your thoughts? I'll start with you, Adam.
No, I thought Coop was great, man. To give it 3 hits total. I mean, I thought at one point he retired 9 or 10 in a row. I thought it was a big time game for him. Like you mentioned, it did feel like the momentum shifted for us after that call on McHugh. And we were able to carry that momentum into that second game. And I thought that Coop was just outstanding. I mean, as thin as we are in the bullpen and having to play a doubleheader like that and turn right back around and play again on game 3 on Saturday, we needed a good, strong outing from him there. Even if it had been a close game and he had gotten chased early, we would have had a home. I mean, I think we were talking about it one time. We were down to just a couple guys left in the pen. Goose and who else maybe on Saturday? I mean,
Saturday,
what
I
many
think
choices?
we really had Goose and whoever we could figure. I don't know.
We brought in, quite honestly, we brought in Tristan Potts at the end of that game.
Yeah, I wanted to mention
he
him.
threw he threw 2 good innings. The dude had only thrown like an inning and a third all year. And he came in and got a couple strikeouts and looked good, I thought.
Yeah, and
Hit a guy, but
Pot's not getting a whole lot of opportunities. I definitely wanted to give him a shout out on this podcast because he came in with the bases loaded and got a line drive double play, gets out the inning, and goes 2 scoreless with 2 punch outs. And it felt tense in the stadium, even though it was 11-6 when he came in the game. I mean, if they had a grand slam there, it's 11-10.
It was 10.
yeah, it was. It felt tense on my couch too.
Wesley?
Yeah, I mean, big game coup, So, I mean, it's kind of hard, and we'll always say, what might have been if we had a completely healthy pitching staff for, 2026, but it's kind of, crazy to think that Coop wasn't a Sunday starter from the beginning, based on everything we've seen for a couple years, but whatever. That is what it is. But phenomenal performance. And he's love the emotion that Coop has. And of course, being a Florida guy, it's special for him to go out there and shut Miami completely down. So that was fun to watch.
And some guys love the moment, and some guys can handle the moment. Cooper Consiglia loves the damn moment, man. You can just
Yeah, no
tell.
doubt.
And I love that about him. Another thing in that game, after Serrano hit the blast, the very next pitch they drilled Lamphere. Obviously intentional. I don't think Evans had thrown a pitch even close to out of the zone. He drills Lamphere, and the benches are about to clear again. Our kids rose to the occasion. So, I mean, I really, I love this baseball team. And to Wesley's point about just the health of, with Dudenmer on it, just I hope we don't have to say what might have been. I know we're still fighting a uphill battle with the injuries that we have, Mikey Ryan included. But man, we took it to him after that home run, and it was fun. But man, Sosa, they were giving him such a hard time. I mean, we had no hard feelings against Sosa other than the fact that he was one of us and he ain't no more. And his dad was there, and he's obviously friends with a lot of our players' fathers and families. And but boy, the Wolfpack faithful were letting Mr. Sosa have it, especially about the fact that he didn't catch an inning all weekend.
As they should.
As they should. So Game 3, man. So you go to the rubber match, chance to win the series, and like there was so many big moments in this game. Miami goes up early. I think it was 2-0, or we went up 2-0. They came back and scored 5, and then we answered. And so, I don't know if this game is we can talk about Sherman Johnson, unbelievable. Luke Nixon, 2 bombs, and his dad doesn't even smile. Unbelievable. Eli Serrano or Christian Serrano, 7-7 game, gets the knock to take the lead. Unbelievable. You could call it the Sherman, the Luke, the Serrano game. It's the damn Anderson Nance game, boy.
No doubt.
Man, he came in with 17 outs to get, and we're like texting, what's the most pitches he's thrown in a game? Because I don't know if he can finish. And we knew we had Goose left.
It was in the low 80s, or
it was 67.
Low 80s.
It was 60.
Was it? Okay.
He threw 89 last year in a game against
Okay.
Duke, but he threw 67 was the most he had thrown this year in a game. And Adam, I'm sure you got it in front of you. How many did he throw on Saturday night?
I think it was 110, wasn't it? I don't have it in front of me.
113.
Okay.
113.
Yeah, I do remember that pitch number 110 was 97 miles an hour.
97. And you talk about a guy that rises to the occasion. I mean, he never has any emotion whatsoever.
And he didn't even have, well, and I know it had gotten pretty cool up there too, but my man didn't even have a bead of sweat on him. He wasn't even glistening up there, and he was just reaching back and bringing it. That was impressive. I didn't think he was going to come back out for the
ninth.
For the ninth, yeah. But
how about he's at 100 pitches, and he kind of gives up 2 little singles there in the ninth, and they come out.
It was three kind of weak hits, wasn't it? The one to Serrano that had to go backside, and then there was one up the middle that was a pretty solid hit. That's right.
And then they come out. Chrysler comes out, and I guess Nance is like, nah, coach, I'm good. And he punches out the next two guys and then a ground out to end it. But
Well, hell, the first one wasn't a
include
damn single. It was Piper over there can't routine
oh,
foul,
yeah.
yeah,
routine ground ball. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah,
you're
they
it
right.
should have
was.
never even got to that point. Our third
Yeah.
base is horrific.
Yeah, we have struggled on the at third base this year, and that's why Piper was playing because, quite honestly, Sherman wasn't great there the night before, so that's been kind of been a pimple all year. But yeah, Nance 100 on pitch 110, 97 mile an hour. I'll remember, and
Yeah.
97 was the most he found in there all night. He was 95, 96 a bunch, but on pitch 110 he reaches back for 97.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Big A.
fun to watch, Big A, and and Luke, man, I don't want to gloss over what Luke and Sherman did because Luke hits the 3-run home run to tie it at 5-5, and then he comes up when it's 7-6 or 8-6, 7-6. They're up 7-5, and he makes it 7-6 with another bomb. And Trot Nixon, his dad, Boston Red Sox legend, World Series champion, he doesn't even move. He just sits there. It was all over Twitter today. Doesn't even crack a smile, but I know Trot's very proud of him. But Luke, a spark plug, and then Sherman Johnson in the bottom of the 8 with the bases loaded. What made Sherman Johnson so good was that he was DHing in the game for us. Well, their DH had a bases loaded opportunity. Their DH was Alex Sosa, had a bases loaded opportunity, and he rolled it over to second base. Our DH comes up in the bottom.
That was actually, and that was Serrano shifted over there.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And then their DH, Luke was in shallow right, and then our DH comes up in the bottom of the 8th with the bases loaded, and Sherman hits a nuke. And Sherman had already hit a big double earlier in the game, but we end up with 14 hits in the ball game. How many guys do we have with multiple hits? Rhett had 2, Luke had 2, McHugh had 2, Sherman had 3. I mean, we swung the bats, and it's what we had to do. So I struck them out 10 times, and we only punched out 5.
What is Red up to now? Threat Johnson.
Threat Johnson, I think he's
21 game.
21 game hit streak. Yeah, he's hitting 420. He had a hit in every game of the series, and his batting average went down because 2 for 5 sets him back. But
yeah,
man, he's fun to watch. So, I mean, just Elliott Avent. 1100th win. Turned 70 years old. I mean, my man just gets them up off the mat every year at this time. I mean, I know that there's people that we're a podcast. We second guess people all the time for fun, but I mean, just to y'all's point earlier about where we are as a depleted pitching staff, and to go win 2 out of 3 at home versus a really good Miami team. I think a Miami team that had won 6 series in a row. So I like where
that's right. Five ACC series and 6 overall in a row. That's correct.
So, like where we're at going to Stanford this week, it's going to be it's honestly going to be a tall task to go on the road. Stanford last year, we kind of have some sour milk because we had a chance to win the ACC regular season championship at home, and didn't get it done against Stanford. And now we got to go over there. Still kind of searching for 14 or 15 ACC wins to kind of solidify our spot in the field. Before we talk about Stanford, though, got a few questions that kind of we can tie into what we've already been discussing. We solicited for them on Instagram. It says, the first question is, do y'all think Christian Serrano will stay in the lineup for the foreseeable future? That's barring Mikey coming back healthy. What do you guys predict on that one?
I sure as heck hope so. I mean, you gotta play. You gotta play who's
so
hot,
too.
man. We kind of learned hopefully we learned our lesson last year with Ryder Woodson, ending up he's kind of lost in the bench all season until the regional. I think the other situation you have with Serrano is he's a homegrown kid that you want to be at NC State for 3 years. And, as much as we may or may not like NIL, he's a really good player. So if Whatever, you got to play the hot hand. And he looked better at shortstop than Mikey Ryan. I mean, playing defensively, he looked better. I mean, offensively, Mikey Ryan's been playing well for the last several weeks. So, I mean, call me crazy, but I wouldn't mind seeing Mikey Ryan at third base and Serrano at shortstop.
I kind
I
of
would agree
leaning toward
with
that
that.
too. I kind of think we might see a situation where Serrano stays at short, Mikey moves to third, and Sherman DHs. I could very well see that.
Yeah.
I think where it gets
I
hard
mean,
is if you want to get, Bargo or Freshmen in the lineup versus a righty. How do you go about, or Bargo versus righty? How do you go about doing that? But I mean, the bottom line is Serrano's hitting 450 in his 22 at bat sample and just had a huge weekend against one of the upper echelon teams in the ACC. I don't know how you can send him back to the Pine.
and dude was supposed to be at his prom Saturday night.
That's crazy.
Man, I know it is wild. He graduated early, enrolled for the spring. That's why he's here. So he was supposed to be next year's class.
Next
But
question we got
so
about
impressive.
was about our pitching rotation. So, not to, I think the expectation is at some point, especially if we're playing meaningful baseball games, that we're going to see Ryan Marone again. And obviously that is critical to our postseason hopes. And so I think the question that one of our listeners was getting at is what does our rotation look like if Marone comes back in the ACC tournament or in the postseason and slots back into our Friday night guy? Who are your three arms that you start?
Well, if it's meaningful baseball and it's all the games from here on are meaningful for us, postseason wise, I don't know. I don't know where you sit. I don't know where Andrews fits in that. I'm not optimistic that anything will be any different the next two ACC series. I don't know. Postseason wise, I don't see how you can run Andrews out there
You
when
might
you've
can
got
throw him. You might can throw him against. If you're playing the reseed. I mean, we've seen what happens to Andrew against conference play. I mean, it is what it is. This is you can't argue that. So I mean, I don't. But no, I mean you're in the playoff regional time. The best three arms who I would throw. I mean, it's something we got to see how Marone comes out. But how
oh
do you
yeah, agreed.
ignore? How do you ignore what happened? 113 pitches. You're just going to ignore that happened on Saturday night?
And we've seen so many of these guys on the back end now. I mean, between Garino, I really like Ragusa. We didn't even see him this weekend, but I really like Ragusa. Um, and I don't know how Andrews slots had the pin, but Andrews at 11 and a third. His last 11 and a third innings in three conference starts, he's given up 18 earned runs on Friday night and 11 walks and 10 strikeouts. So Andrews has been really good. I was looking back in some starts. I was looking back. He went 7 innings versus Boston College. But the problem is, to me, once you get to the postseason, you've got you got to have someone a little bit more consistent. And what kills him is when he just doesn't miss bats. And so, like, when you don't miss bats and you walk guys, and opponents are hitting 291 against you, just not. I mean, I just think
Is
you
there
got to.
anybody? Is there anybody? Is there anybody that has a higher average against them than 291?
Well, I mean, no one he throws many innings. I mean, Collins Black 306, but he's kind of been buried as well. You look at Ragusa, opponents are hitting 100 against. Marone 204, Anderson Nance 262, Duden 229, Sam Harris 192, Garino 195, Hemrick 190, Truitt Manuel 154, Consiglio 234, Aiden Kitchens 222. 291's a big number to be out there 47 innings. And I know our staff likes him, and I don't know that we're going to see a whole lot different. But to me, I mean, I personally think I understand the value still of leaving Nance on the back end, even though
I do
he
too.
can go 113 pitches. But I think that if we get Marone back, and that's still if, but if we get Marone back. And one, if we get Marone back and he says he can throw, if he wants to start, we let him start, whether we feel good. Run him out there. He's our guy. But if you're in a regional, I feel like you got 3 guys, it's got to be
But
Marone.
you like him on the backside. If you even make it to the backside, you go
Well,
out there and you give up 8 runs in the first inning or second inning. What the hell? You just what do you?
exactly.
It's the playoffs.
But I was going to say it's got to be Marone, Coop, and Hemrick, or Marone, Coop, and Garino if you want to hold Nance back. But at the same time, if I threw Marone game 1 of a regional right now and we lost and didn't throw Anderson Nance, I'm starting Anderson Nance the next day. There's no way in hell I'm going to take a chance that I'm going to throw him in an inning in a regional and he's not going to throw an inning where we have a chance to win the game. You just can't do that. That's like malpractice. So, we don't get to decide that. And, in the World Series a couple of years ago, we raised hell because Whitaker didn't start against Florida. And then, he came in behind and absolutely mowed Florida down for 7 innings, but it was too late. So that's something we can discuss. I guess that discussion gets a lot more nuanced, if and when we get Ryan Marone back. So we'll table that one for a while, but, good question. Also, before we talk about Stanford, are we going to play the game Tuesday or not? Like I just think you can't play it. They're 284 in RPI. North Carolina A&T.
We are 1,000% playing that game.
And so our RPI after yesterday moved up 15 slots. We're 37th overall. Now, where do we project even with a win? Can't you do that on here?
I don't know how you do it, but we're going to go down.
Yeah.
So when will we leave on Wednesday to fly to California? So why? Just call it a scheduling conflict. Why even play that game? Agent's going to play it just because we think he shouldn't.
A&T is 12-34 overall, and 281 in RPI. So
yeah, it doesn't matter.
And UNC kicked their game this week. Now they're fighting to host. They punted that game versus Queens. And they didn't do it because of weather. We played and didn't get a drop of water on us. Like, everybody knew it wasn't going to rain. That was BS. Everybody knows why they did it. Like, who cares why? Like, leave the sprinklers on. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, we'll play it.
Right now, Warren Nolan has us projected to finish 40th in RPI with a 14-16 conference record.
Yeah, they got us winning 2 out of 3 versus Stanford.
That's based on a 14-16 conference record, yeah.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 versus Stanford and getting swept by Carolina, which I'm still optimistic we're gonna play well against UNC.
Yeah.
But I just don't think you can play that game. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree. It makes no sense. It makes no sense for a bubble team to play that game in today's world. It just does not.
No.
So,
Coach Avins
we've seen how important RPI is recently.
I just don't know how baseball works with football. I know if you cancel a football game, you got to write this big check. I just don't think it's that way in baseball. I highly doubt it that it's that way in baseball. And if you're doing what's best for your kids, it's best to not play.
You can't play it, but I still think Avent's going to play. So we vote on Wednesday. Cal, you think yes or no? Is Avent going to play this game?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. We're playing the game Tuesday.
Ugh. All right. So then we got to go to Stanford. Stanford's 22-22 overall. They are 10-14 in conference play, and swept Florida State last week before getting swept on the road at Notre Dame this week. Stanford has not been swept in a home series. They throw Harry Holstaff. This weekend, they pulled a guy after an inning and 2/3. They have 14 guys with double-digit innings, but a team ERA of 6.20 and a 282 opponent's batting average. So pitching is kind of a little light for them. They actually are second in the ACC in conference play. They've hit 44 home runs. And Rintaro Sasaki, who you guys remember last year, came over from Japan, who was a big name over there, has hit 15 home runs for him. Another guy, Teddy Tokheim, has hit 13 home runs for him. And anyway, got a lot of guys that've hit more than 5 home runs. They've hit 71 as a team. Going to be feels like maybe an offensive series, especially with us maybe a little depleted on the arm side. Do you guys think that we right our wrongs from last year and go and get 2 out of 3 from Stanford? Or sweep? Do we win the series? Let's start with that question.
We still haven't won a road series, have we?
No, but we have played Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, Florida State. Who was the other one? Oh, Virginia Tech on the road.
Well, Tech.
Every road ACC series we've had has been a Virginia Tech's now at 36. So every road ACC series we've had has been against the top 36 RPI opponent and 2 top 10 opponents.
Yeah, I think we win the series. I mean, they got swept this weekend by Notre Dame, so we got a little momentum.
I hope you're right. I agree.
Definitely feel like you're playing for more than they are.
Yeah.
At the same time, I mean, if we say 15 is the number that gives you a chance, I mean, Stanford maybe, they're probably playing for their lives too. They feel like if they could get hot and sweep 2 series in a row, then they're right back on the bubble. They're 10-14 now, so I think we win the series. ACC standings real quick if you guys are curious. Georgia Tech's at 19-5, UNC at 18-7. Boston College at 17-10. They lost 2 out of 3 to Clemson this weekend. I was pulling for the Eagles. Florida State at 15-9, Miami at 13-11, Wake at 14-13, and then Virginia and NC State tied for 7th and 8th at 12-12. Virginia Tech at 13-14. So for us, we're playing for a top 8 spot in the ACC tournament. Gets us a bye. I mean, it's an extremely long road for us to get to a top 4 seed. So, hope that we're playing for seeding and trying not to fall out of the bye, at least getting 1 bye. So that's where we're at. All right. Couple more questions. We'll get out of here. Let's see. Will there be any Pack Homer merchandise soon? Who's in charge of that?
You are.
No. Well,
I thought you already went and got some stuff embroidered and all.
man, I went and got some logos made, but I ain't got nothing embroidered yet.
We got some stickers.
We did have some stickers. We need to get some T-shirts or something. I don't know. We need some merch. I want to see some merch at the Doak. I don't know. That's the answer. We would like there to be some merchandise, but running this 4-loss organization that we run, if anybody's got any questions, if we do sell any merch, I don't even know how we would go about receiving the money. It would be very, very bootleg. We do not have an LLC. If we did, we wouldn't be viable, as we have never turned a profit. We have not monetized ourselves on YouTube. We also do not have, all we have is bills. We pay for the platform. We pay for everything. So yeah.
We do it for the love of the
We do it for the love of the game. It's hard being real media. So if anybody wants some merchandise from us, here goes what we need from you. We need you to tell some other people to listen to our stuff. That's the next question I have on here. It says, do you care about how many people, how many viewers you get on a weekly basis? You want to answer first, and then I'll answer. What do you care? Wesley doesn't even listen. He doesn't even give us a click a week. But do you care, Wesley?
I've never listened to an episode, and care about how many. I just care about making it to tomorrow. And the last thing I'm worried about is if somebody listened or not to this podcast.
Adam?
No, I agree. I don't care who listens, because I know we have a core group that does, and I like doing it because I enjoy talking to you guys and talking to Pac-9. So yeah, it doesn't matter to me at all. When we first started, I figured it was just going to be friends and family anyway.
Yeah, if we ever crack triple digits, that was going to be a hell of a threshold. I do agree with that. I mean, I would tell you I care a little bit, because it's like, man, when these guys go to bed here in a minute, I might have to sit here and get this thing uploaded. It's like, boy, You go look, and you're like, man, we had 102 people listen last week. Good thing I stayed up till 1 o'clock
Uh-oh.
on Sunday night to
Oh.
make sure everything was all right. But no, I mean, I do like, I do value. I mean, I think we're kind of unique in that we're the only real group that all we cover is NC State baseball. We're very niche, so yeah, I care and don't care. I mean, I'm not going to stop if no one listens this week. We're not going to just be like, oh well, we quit. But so yeah, I care and I
I
care a
think it
little bit.
definitely I think it definitely does, life gets in the way and we're not able to record and release on a consistent basis. I do think it would help a little bit if we were able to do that, but here we are. We're gonna be back on track tomorrow with a Monday morning release or Sunday night release.
Yeah, and then sometimes we go through mid-season depression. You know what
Yeah.
I
Sometimes we just talk about just canceling the whole damn thing anyway.
mean?
Hey, if they don't care, damn it, we don't either. I'm just kidding. I know they care.
So then when we get us a message on the Instagram about when you're going to record, yeah, that does feel kind of nice to get a little interaction with the fans. Like, hell, somebody's waiting for us. So anyway, y'all got anything to add? I know Adam for a while was going to talk about the best thing he saw all week.
Oh,
But
saw on the internet, yeah.
yeah,
Daggone it. I forgot about that again. What was the y'all go ahead if y'all got one.
well, our buddy Alex
Yeah.
G sent me something that I really liked this week. I don't know who put it out. He asked me to mention it, but it was on TikTok, and it's this picture from Iowa. It says, "Give these grips a try," and he's doing this video. Somebody made this video. I guess it's at Bleak BLEEK on TikTok, and he's showing how he throws his changeup. He's showing how he throws his cutter and his four seam and his sinker or whatever. Anyway, somebody takes this video of this poor kid. I don't even know who it is, showing all of his grips. And then they go get game footage of him giving up bombs, like all these pitches. And I thought that was pretty good.
That is pretty good.
And then, of course, today I got a big chuckle out of. There was a couple of folks that posted about how stoic Trot was when Luke hit his home runs the other night. So when I see Trot again, I'm gonna rib him about that a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I didn't see a lot this week. Nothing memorable that I can think of. I'm gonna have to do better about that, but I would say Pac-9 related. It was fun this weekend watching Christian Serrano. I think he just kind of breathed life back into us after going through all these injuries. It just felt like we hadn't really had a position player. I mean, Rhett's been hot for so long now. It's just kind of expected, but to get a kind of a new life and a young blood, a guy who we hope to be back with Rhett next year. So
I
I
think
guess I'll have to default to that because that was pretty fun to watch him
I
kind of
think
break
seeing
out.
Serrano gives you a whole lot of optimism about the future, about where we are in NIL. Like if we keep these guys, that's the question that's not been answered yet. But if you keep Serrano and Rhett and then you think about Nance and Hemrick and
Hamrick,
Ragusa and Garino and some of these guys that have maybe gotten play more than we would have expected, Mikey Ryan. I think those are all the guys that are kind of have played a lot here lately that aren't draft eligible. I think Sherman, Ty, Luke, McHugh, Fargo,
Coop.
Lamphere, Coop. Those guys are all gone. Marone and Duden. But to see those young guys play well, it does give you some optimism too about the future. And we kind of needed that little jolt of energy. So I agree with that too, Adam. That's exciting. All right. Anything, Wesley?
Nah, I was sitting here watching this video of Cam Young. You see him call the penalty on
Oh,
himself.
oof, yeah.
Honestly, I'd have never done that.
I didn't move that ball.
I mean, I couldn't tell him move, but no, I didn't. I can't remember what I saw this week on the internet.
I didn't see that, but
He's still part of the whole.
he's still part of the whole.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Yeah, he's a stud.
All right, we all can tune in Tuesday to Pack will be playing North Carolina A&T.
Hey, we need to maybe we need to tag in our last episode when we mentioned the grounds crew. They got a Twitter, they got a handle on X. Maybe we need to tag them about leaving the sprinklers on tomorrow night.
Yeah, we do. We need to shoot them a DM right now. Do it for the kids. NCSU
Do it for the kids.
turf.
Do it for their RPI.
I mean, goodness gracious. Them kids from A&T probably don't even want to come play, man. They're like 12 and 32
Hell
or something.
is hot, as dry as Raleigh is. You need to leave the sprinklers on.
Yeah, maybe that's what we tell them. The field's too dry.
It's too dry.
We're
I
trying
don't know
not
how
to
much rain y'all got this weekend.
sustain injuries. Our field is too dry. We're going to sit this one out. All right, boys. Been fun.
Gotta get it ready for the hills.
Yeah, that's right. We got to go across the country and then come back and play the following Thursdays. We'll see you guys next week. Let's hope we've kind of solidified a spot in the big dance by then. All right, go Pack.
I like it. Sounds good. Go Pack.
The music's not working, boys.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. See you next week.